Alright guys, I want to welcome you all back to some more of the Stanley Parable. So, before I even got to this point in the main menu guys, the narrator, what have you, not narrator, but the creators, I guess, was asking me to adjust the time, and I did. And then he was asking me if the time I put was accurate, and I, said yeah, and then he gave me a slider to see how accurate it was. Hilariously enough, though, by the time the slider popped up, it went from it changed to a minute, obviously, so I had to adjust it then. And then he continued to be amused with the fact that he got some data on me, so I'm a little worried about that. But that's what these games are about, right? They're meant to like subvert your expectations. So right now we're gonna continue on from where we last left off, which was me not listening to the secondary narrator and telling me to save myself and my friends by quitting the game, which is a very weird thing to do, and I'm gonna try it this time. So with that said guys, let's get to it. Alright guys, we're back again, and this time I'm gonna do things a little differently.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Yeah.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Probably, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna kind of...
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We're gonna speed rush this a little bit and see how we fare. Because I wasn't thrilled about the whole...
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find... Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I wasn't thrilled how things went the last time. So I'm gonna... If I fail this one too, like after I listen to the second narrator, I'm probably gonna try a different route. And this time I'm not gonna listen to the first narrator at all and just go about things, my way. Alright, I've been here before, but I want to see if anything else changed. Oh, see? I knew something would change. Because the boss knows that's what the boss says goes. If the boss suffered losses, then that's what the boss chose. Before, the saying was about money. Okay, I figured something like that would change. Did this room change? Because I remember this elevator did nothing. Oh, it's locked this time. Oh, interesting.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Alright guys, here we go again. This will be like, what, my third time? Alright, here we go. I gotta say, this game is something else. I don't know what to make of it yet.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Oh, it won't, buddy. Oh, it won't.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, I did not. Here we go again, guys. Let's go.
Although
Escape.
this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Okay, so what we do know is the first narrator is tricking me because he was talking about how I was going to meet my violent death and I didn't die. At least not yet. In fact, I was either saved...
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Or I ended up, like, not, okay, I want to say that the second narrator saved me, but, like, I was lied to and I wasn't going to die yet. I don't know how to explain
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
That's so interesting right there.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
What if this time I did die, though, and this voice didn't save me? Okay.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Okay, yeah. See, second narrator saved me. The Stanley Parable.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Alright, I went right. This time, we're going left. Wait, or did I go here already? Or did I go left? I forgot where if I went. Oh my gosh. Alright, let's go this way instead. Like, I wonder how many endings this game has. That is what I'm quite. I didn't even look it up yet, guys. In fact, that's how I'm playing this game. I'm going in completely blind. I know nothing. What is the picture here? Are these hints? Okay, so boss's office. Screens from development to boss's office. Oh, okay. It's the development. Let me go in here. Whoa, what? This game is messing with me right now, isn't it? I'm hearing sounds. Oh. This is new. Narration outtakes.
The number 8.
Okay, I don't really care about the narration outtakes. I remember I wrote down a number on from one of the projectors. I don't know if it's going to be important later down the line or if it was just literal nonsense that I'm not necessarily going to need at all. Alright, so I guess, yep, I'm supposed to go here.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
Who?
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
Alright, here we go again,
Listen
guys.
to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it.
Alright. Quit the menu, right? Or begin game again. Is that what they mean? Quit the menu. Alright, I listened to you. Let's see if that changed anything. No. Okay. Maybe I should hit begin game again? I don't know. See, that's what I'm talking about. I feel like I didn't really do much of anything. Alright, now we're gonna play things my way.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So, alright, basically, that didn't help me at all. I listened to her, and I still ended up here. So, I took care of that path. There's another path I could take where I activate the mind control device. But I don't want to do that yet. Maybe it might be important, but I want to do a
When
couple other
Stanley
things
came
first.
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I'll go on the left for now.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Complete
Feeling a
today's
wave
thing.
of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I'm just reading everything. This might be important. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Hire someone to synergize papers. Papers are too synergized. This is so weird. Okay. How about the board here? What's this one say? Meeting room. Monday. Weekly target again? Admin. Okay. Do not alter without consulting whiteboard manager. Oh, I'm gonna alter the hell out of it. Alright, so honestly, broom closet.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nah. I'm not listening to you yet, dude.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Oh, don't tell me that. Now there is a reason. He's trying to tell me there's something here.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
What is FA? What does FA mean?
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Let me. There's something here. You're hiding something from me, narrator.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it.
If it has nothing to do with the story, why would the door even be open? Why?
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Well, for one thing, I'm not British, but also,
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
okay, now I know you. Now there's something here. You're really trying to get me to move.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
Nah.
Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose.
Why did...
Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
You know, I didn't expect the narrator to just keep going and keep trying to bug me, man. So, alright, you know, maybe there really is nothing to do. Or maybe there is, and I have to go through all this nonsense of the narrator talking my ear off until... But it did say on the board to save, what's his name? Out of the broom closet, you know? There's a light here. Also, why would...
Second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, just wanted to double check. That door is gonna open eventually, I bet. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. Say, that's a lovely purse. Who is that message for? Like, again, I'm sorry guys if I wasted your time, like, of having to watch me go through that broom closet, but I was just curious. Like, I have a feeling he was trying to keep me away from that broom closet, and I figured something would happen, but this place is still locked, and... Alright. There has to be another means to...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
2845? Let's try a different number.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. $2845.
Okay.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay, so that was so unnecessary, he was going to activate this for me anyway. That's interesting. Okay. Can I interact with anything else here? Ah, it's so dark. Alright. Okay, so I can go back up if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Was that sound always there? Or is that new? Ah, that's me walking. Okay. If light is on, call extension 914 immediately. Okay. So the last time I did this, unless I was supposed to do something in that room prior to me falling back into the area where I died, you know? Alright, you know what? I'm gonna try and activate the brainwashing machine.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
How cool would it have been if I could like find something or another area in the broom closet and an area was just being a pain in my neck just to keep me from discovering it, you know? Like, if that was the case, how incredible would that be?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Alright, so my plan now is to
This mind
activate the
control
brainwashing
facility,
machine.
it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content, walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
No, I'm gonna turn it on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock, why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I'm looking for
Oh, dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
Where's that other button?
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge.
I'm trying to put the
tragedy.
code 2485, but I can't find the 4.
This world,
I found the
that's
2,
fine.
I found the
But
5,
I'm going to
I can't
destroy
find
it
the 4.
first, so you
Wait,
can't.
I don't even know what the 8 is.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you
Yeah,
have left.
if I
to
die, I
struggle.
die.
30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
5.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count, or don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life
Yeah, you
from the
can
moment
laugh.
we fade in until the moment I say,
It's so hard to
happily
see
ever
that.
after.
Okay, see, I was trying to find the buttons 2485. I was thinking that would work, but I couldn't find it, and I died. I don't even know if that's the right way to do it either, you know? So, okay, we now know the narrator isn't a voice in my own head. He's literally the mastermind behind all of this, keeping me imprisoned
All
and
of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
killing my friends. Or
Stanley
erasing them.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Alright, let's try another way. Okay, so I'm pretty sure the important way is for me to figure out how to stop the...
When Stanley came
Bomb
to a
from
set of 2
detonating.
open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Maybe.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Nothing, nothing. I'm just trying to find anything and everything. Nothing useful.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
This is new.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
I just ignored you, man. It's not that I'm bad at following directions. Warning, do not jump from the cargo while lift is in motion.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not.
You killed me last time,
I realize that
bro.
investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Okay, so we learned another new thing.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
Alright, well, I don't know who you're talking about. I can't seem to go anywhere else either. Can't go up there. This is another new area I've never been to before, so let's give it a once over.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Well, I'm not gonna place my faith in you, but sure. Wait, can I get out? No? You know, it's not giving me the option to do it anyway. There it is.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Ah, I knew you were my enemy. You see this? You pain in my...
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee 427.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
You know, I'm doing everything in my power to not listen to this thing. Just so that I can just prove to him I'm not necessarily following his little game.
But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
Watch TV? Sure.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
I wanted to watch TV, you took away the TV. What's going to happen now when I press P?
So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Prepare dinner.
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
You go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this. that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
I don't know what to do anymore, because I thought I would mess with him by actually listening, and instead it screwed me over. I guess it screwed me over. I don't know. Press T to question nothing. I guess I got no choice, apparently. So, by the time I press T, I'm back to where I started, right?
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Okay, so there are several ways to die in this game, and you learn a little something new each time you pick different paths, regardless of whether or not you listen to the narrator. So that's cool. There's still some paths that the one important path I'm trying to understand is the whole meltdown, explosive nuclear bomb type of deal. I don't know how I'm supposed to solve that. I was looking for the buttons 2, 4, 8, 5 to see if that would work. I don't know if that's, a solution or if it's just another whack out plan or whatnot, but that was one of the weird things I was thinking about. And I don't know, guys, this game is weird, but it's also it's very intriguing because every little thing you learn, it makes you more curious and also makes you want to continue onwards. But then to keep doing the same thing over and over, it's mind numbing. But for anything else, guys, I'm going to end the video here for today. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one.